So they're doing it again. Triple G versus Canelo 2. There's all kinds of messed up things that went on between the first fight and now, and I could spend a half an hour going over it. I strongly suggest you do a YouTube search and look up the 24/7. It does an excellent job of summing up the whole deal. However, there's 3 points I want to cover. Number 1, I want to talk about the first fight in general. Number 2, I want to talk about the judging from the first fight. Number 3, we're going to talk about the messed up date that technically is Canelo's fault. And number 4, I want to talk about what I think is going to happen in the second fight. So, first thing, the first fight. Obviously, I was like a lot of people and thought Triple G won. It wasn't the way a lot of people thought Triple G was going to win. He actually threw more jabs than he usually does. He wasn't headhunting. It was a very smart game plan if you think about it, because Canelo seemed to be wanting to engage and Triple G just wasn't giving it to him. Now that being said, I did score it 7 rounds to 5 for Triple G. It wasn't an easy fight. And the fact that it came out to being a draw, I was actually okay with. It wasn't a horrible reason for being a draw. What was horrible, and my number 2 point, is the judging. So, as most of you, or some of you remember, Adelaide Bird was, a very trending topic after this fight. Mainly because she scored it 118 for Canelo. One judge, Don Trella, scored it 114-114, which kind of makes sense. The other judge, Dave Moretti, scored it 115-113 for Triple G. And going back to Adelaide Bird, who somehow scored it 118-110 for Canelo. Now, since I got the scorecard up on the screen, we're going to talk about this a little bit. So, first off, let's go round by round real quick. Round 1, it seems to be unanimous. Everyone on the judging's table seems to think that Canelo won the first round. Round 2, same thing. And to be honest, that's the way I had it too. Round 3, Adelaide Bird sticks with Canelo, but the other 2 judges don't agree and give it to Triple G. That third round, for a lot of people, is the moment that the fight turned around. That being said, the following round, the fourth, all 3 judges agree. 10-9 Triple G. The fifth round is a repeat of the third round. Same goes for the 6th round. The 7th round is actually given to Canelo by 2 judges. And the judge that actually scored it a draw gave that round to Canelo. The remaining rounds, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, Adelaide Bird gave it a straight wash for Alvarez. I have a hard time believing that because the pace of the fight was changing and Canelo was putting on the pressure, but I don't know about it being from the 8th on to the 12th. I'd agree that somewhere in the 10th, Canelo started feeling an urgency, but I mean, these scorecards, the first 2, the pink and the blue, make sense, but the white judge is just out of it. Adelaide Bird pretty much guaranteed that this was going to be a controversy. Had she scored it 115-113 the other way, no one would be talking about her. But it is what it is. So they set a date for September, as quickly as possible, considering that Triple G is getting on in years and towards the end of his career, to be honest. That gets all fucked up. Clenbuterol, Mexican meat, all the steak jokes, all the memes, all the bullshit. Fine. The thing is, one of the things that people are bringing up, saying, because a lot of people, I feel like the majority of people are on Triple G's side on this thing, and the fact that Canelo had something in his system just makes them dislike him more, on top of the Adelaide Bird thing. Maybe both things have nothing to do with him. And that being said, there are people out there that defend Canelo. Now, the ones that do and claim that he actually won that first fight point to the punch stats. Now, if I'll throw this up on the screen, actually. If you guys look, okay, in total power punches, Alvarez did land more. the overall percentage is there. In jabs, he got out jabbed. And in total punches, he just squeaks by Triple G. And a lot of people were expressing that this was the reason why. But I want to delve into it a little deeper and look at it round by round if possible. Okay? So if we just do the total punches landed, we forget about the jabs and the power punches, because that has to do more with strategy, in my opinion, which is the reason I thought Triple G won. But if we were to just look at those punch stats of landed punches, round 1 goes Golovkin. Despite all 3 judges giving it, like I said before, to Alvarez, round 1, if you're going by punch stat, would have technically have gone Golovkin's way. Rounds 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are all outpunched by Alvarez. Alvarez is doing more. 8th round, 9th round, 10th round, all Triple G. The 11th round goes back to Alvarez, and then the 12th is almost a tie as far as output goes. So to go back to what I said, rounds 1, 7, 8, 9, 10, and if you want to argue 12. Now, by punch stats, statistics, if you were to just count up who won what round with landed punches, it's actually a draw. It's split 6 rounds apiece. Golovkin did land more jabs. And to bring you to my final point for this video, I think the first fight was about strategy. And despite the fear that Adelaide Bird was paid off, and that Canelo was on dope, a lot of people are picking Canelo to win nonetheless. I'm assuming it's an age thing. And to be honest, I don't think that's the way it's going to go. In my humble opinion, I personally think that the first fight was about strategy, and the second fight is now also again about strategy. I feel Triple G has successfully gotten under Canelo's skin. I feel like Canelo feels the pressure more now than ever to look successful. I mean, after the loss to Mayweather, you could have argued that that was a lot of pressure, but this is clearly more pressure because of the whole Adelaide Bird thing, and then the drug testing thing, and then a lot of people saying that Triple G won the first fight. You can tell in the interviews and stuff he's, annoyed by it. That being said, they're both talking about, in the little video packages they got going on out there, on how Canelo was talking about knocking him out and Triple G was going to knock him out, and they were both talking knockouts, but none of that ever happened. Thing is, I think it's going to happen this time around. My prediction for this fight, I think Canelo's going to come out guns blazing. I think he's going to come charging. I think he's going to try and press the action. I think he's going to try and win all the early rounds. I think he thinks he just didn't turn up the tempo enough the last time around. However, in my opinion, I think that's what Triple G wanted all along. I think the first fight was all about expecting Canelo to come charging at him, and he never did. So this time around, I think Triple G's going to get what he wants, and I think Canelo's going to come charging in with all this rage, not thinking clearly. I think Golovkin's going to jab him early and frustrate him and cause him to continue chasing after him. And I'm predicting a knockout by Triple G.
I asked him, "You're serious?
I think
You're serious?" Okay,
Canelo's fallen into the trap that Triple G had laid out for him the first fight. So that's it for me this week. That's my little breakdown for this fight. It's going to be an interesting one. There's a crazy undercard. Our man David Lemieux versus Spike O'Sullivan. Also, Ontario's Brandon Cook going to be going against Jamie Munguia. Hopefully this helps HBO. That's it for me this week. Hit me up on all the social media. Go check out my other videos. I'll see you guys next week.